Okay, big fucking video, long overdue, kind of, sorta. And you're getting me post-poop, pre-shower. I usually almost always poop right after a shower because I feel gross. So you're getting me in a vulnerable stage right now. We ran a marathon. I also am unshowered. My lips are fucking cracked. My hair's a mess. We look like a troll when it does that little twirl. Look at that, what the fuck? But, we're just going to talk all about our marathon experience. So, I need to close the door or I'm going to panic, actually. Ooh. So, Milwaukee Lakefront Marathon 2024. I have to kind of go in chronological order. If not, I feel like I'm going to just ramble too much. So, first order of business, day before where you pick up your pack and shit. That was kind of cool. It was also really overwhelming. You just see a lot of fit motherfuckers. There were so many hot people, man and woman, in-betweeners. They have merch and shit. They have like a big banner that you can sign your name on. I do have a picture of that, I believe. I just said like, I'm depressed. I don't know why. I thought it was funny and truthful. And then I put like a heart with one of my ex's initials in it. I think I was with my buddy Matt, who ran it with me. And the whole time I was talking about her, so I thought it was funny. But I kind of regretted it. I was like, this is about me. But I digress. You sign it, that's pretty cool. Then, day of, oh my God. No sleep, or very little the night before. It was like, oh, I do have a video. Before this, I'll post the video of me panicking the night before. The day before is like the most anxious I've been for an extended period of time, I think, in my life. Or like, in terms of time plus how my level of anxious was. You know, public speaking, you're really, really anxious, but it's only for a few minutes before it. Where this was like a high level of anxiety and whole day. So, it was like, I woke up, I was calm, went to that thing, and then the nerves hit. I did only get like 6 hours of sleep going into the day before. So I was like, you know, with 5.5, 6 hours of sleep, I should fall asleep early this night. I even took NyQuil, 1 to help me sleep, which is kind of fucked up. 2, I genuinely had a sore throat. I'm like, I can't get a cold right now. I slept from like 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. sound. Then I woke up at 11, and from like 11 all the way to 4 a.m. It was just like in and out of sleep. Weird dreams. Like, I had multiple dreams involving my boy Matt, his girlfriend, like on a camping trip. It's the only one I really remember. It wasn't bad vibes. It was just like not great. A lot of dreams, in and out of sleep. And then at 4 a.m., my alarm was set for 4:45 because I had to meet at his place at 5:45. Race starts at 7. And at 4, once you see it's like almost game time, like I just couldn't fall back asleep. It was like just checking fantasy, kind of going over my head. I gotta do this, that. All of that. It's stressful. Then I get to his place. We drive there together. It was like his girlfriend drove us. I just left my car there because I was going to have a ride afterwards. So the nerves are bad. But honestly, I think in the morning, like day of, nerves were way better than the night before. Because you're like, it's just game time. Like, you just want to get it done with. I'm so fucking tired, so I'm just kind of like lolling by. And then you get there and it's like, we get there at like 6:15, 6:10. I'm like, I got a whole almost hour. Like, I was nervous that there wasn't going to be enough room for me to like stretch and warm up. But like, it was at a place called the Baird Center. Big building, a lot of rooms for you to do shit. Plus, they have like, it's an arch with a road. And in that road, it's a ton of porta potties. As we're pulling up, you got people doing like the karaoke, up and down butt kicks and shit. So I was like, also there was some people doing some warm-ups there. So I was like, okay, I got space to do shit. I would have liked a little grass area, but it is cool. We go do our stretches. I had a Rice Krispie. All I had was a yogurt and a thing of water in the morning because I didn't want too much in me. I ate a lot the day before, Panera. But I'll put a picture or a video of like, they have a ton of porta potties in that little archway. And the lines for that are crazy. I got a piss before it, which was at like within 30 minutes, so I felt great. I was trying to eat a Rice Krispie when it hit 30 minutes before. I couldn't even eat the whole Rice Krispie, which is like a 100-calorie little thing because I was so fucking nervous. So I ate like 3/4 of it and threw it away. And then I don't even know where the start is. I'm just like, I'm going to follow the crowd. Luckily, Matt looked it up and he's like, yo, we actually got to go down a road or two. And I'm glad he did. Because then, so yeah, he shits. We both use the porta potty. I stretch a little bit and then he's like, all right, are you good? And I'm like, yeah, game time. I feel bad. I wore a hoodie there. I was planning on wearing it for like the first mile or two while it was cold and then taking it off. I didn't even rock it. I said, fuck it, we're going to be cold. So literally wasted an old hoodie of my sister's and just left it there. She said it was fine. But, so the porta potty pic, if I already posted it, it's there. Then you get to like the start line, like you go navigate it and it's like so crowded. You know, there's like, I know over 1,000 people did the half and over 1,000 did the full marathon. So at least 2,000 people, they start at the same time. And it's just fucking crazy and nerve-wracking and like people are like budging and weaving. I'm like, it doesn't fucking matter. But they have like pacers, which are just people that will run at a certain pace so you can follow them if you want to hit a certain pace. They'll have a little stick with their time and shit. So I guess people are trying to get near what they want to be by. So we kind of did that, then we chill. I have at least a pic or two of like the start and us getting ready for it. We talked to this dope dude named Paul, pacer. And then it starts and you just fucking sit there because it's such a long line. So it wasn't like until 7 minutes or so where we actually got to the start line after they blow the horn or whatever the fuck they do, a national anthem, all sorts of shit. Then we lock in. And it's like just such a cool thing in the beginning. I at first was like, I don't want to run through the city. Like, that's not that cool. I've seen the city a lot. I want that little lakefront view. But when the city's shut down for you and there's just fucking hundreds of people and people on the sides, it's pretty dope. So that was super cool. Right away I had to pee. And I'm like, it's probably just nerves. But then we got a couple miles and I'm like, no, I got to. And they have porta potties all throughout. But the first couple are really busy because it's people with nerve peas or whatever the fuck. So I waited, and then we hit like the third-ish mile, and there was a wooded area to go piss. And I didn't want to be like right outside it because no one had like just scooted off the pass to piss yet. So I didn't want to be rude. I don't know etiquette. But I was like, I fucking got to. And I'd rather get it done with and be comfortable moving forward than try to hold it. Once you get to the wooded area, it is just straight downhill, and I wanted to go in to be hidden a bit. I ate shit. I fell on my ass. Didn't hurt. We were fine, but I had to like panic, put my hands to like stop me and break me. Like I was going to go down a ways. We get up, we piss. Now I'm pissed because my hands are dirty, but it was good enough. We got back to it. And then honestly, like first hole, like not in an arrogant way, but first hole 8 miles, lavish. Like genuinely don't feel tired at all. Feel good, excited. There was like a dude at like the Bradford Beach you pass on the lakefront who was like a DJ, just loud ass speakers playing John Summit. Like there's just so many good vibes. You see the sunrise on the lakefront. Like it's just a really good time. And I'm just chit-chatting with Matt, enjoying myself for like chit-chatting a little bit, not too much. For gear, I had 4 goos with me and 1 Uncrustable because goos make me nauseous and taste like shit. So the Uncrustable is like a chaser that I was going to eat. I was going to do a goo and eat like a, quarter of that to at least have a good taste in my mouth afterwards. I didn't carry any water because every 2 miles they had like a water Gatorade ice station just handing shit out. So that's all I did for water and Gatorade. It went really well. Mile 10, my left leg just felt like dead. It was almost good in the sense of like the whole leg hurt. So it wasn't like just my shin or knee or ankles in pain in one kind of spot. That's really hard to manage. Because the whole leg was just in moderate pain. So it fucking sucked, but at least it wasn't like one sharp pain. It was just like, this leg's gonna need a little extra limp to it as I do this. Things go smooth. I think around mile like 15 or something, my boy hits the porta potty. I pass him, I assume, because he mentioned, he's like, yo, dude, you might pass me at some point. Like, I'm probably, this is your race, not mine. I'm just trying to get it done. Which I enjoyed the hype and enthusiasm. Long story short, he beat me, so now I'm fucking mad. But at one point then, I was ahead of him, and I was like, oh, he's not going to catch up. Like, at this point, it's just so low. Then he did pass me at one point. I just started slowing down. And the worst thing is, like, you already start feeling it mile 13. My lips are so dead from it, too, by the way. I'm just, like, picking at them. But like mile 13, like you should be feeling shit in your legs. That's just your body. It is not humanly healthy to be running 26 miles in a day, probably even like 15. So the hardest part was like anytime I'd stop to get a goo, like I would usually walk when I was getting water or goo because I don't like trying to do it at the same time. I fuck it up. That leg and just feeling how sore my body was, like the first half mile afterwards, getting back up to speed was like so painful. So I was like, I just gotta lock in. But then also in the last like 8 miles, the last like 4 miles, it's like every fucking corner I turn, I'm just waiting, yearning for a water station to get some shit in me. I'm so parched. But then you also don't want one because it's hard to get up to speed again. Yeah, it was great though. He had like it was his birthday and he's done marathons. He had a super dope squad that like, they knew the course. They looked it up. They pulled up like 4 or 5 different times, different areas to just cheer us on. After he passed me, they were super nice. I have a vivid memory. They didn't even know my name yet. But they, I see them get out of the car, get their sign out, cheer, go Matt when he passed me, but I could still see him. And then they start going back to the car, and one of them, like, gestures to the other one, like, oh, I see his friend. They're like, let's go, Matt's friend, you got this. And I'm like, that was so sweet. I think there's just so many random bystanders, like, holding up, like, the mushroom for Mario power-ups. I hit everyone I saw. There's just random old men, women being like, you got this, you're amazing. Like, it is such a great vibe. It's one of those things that, like, the pleasant reminders of, like, people are inherently good, in my opinion, if you give them a chance to be and supportive. And that was such a reminder. I didn't know if any of my friends were going to show up. 4 of them did. Parents showed up. My brother and some of his friends showed up. So it was a really good experience. Like, it was great. Yeah, I didn't really know who I'll expect. I honestly expected to kind of like cry at the end of it, but like it's just so crowded at the end. And then, like I said, I wanted to make sure I said bye to Matt and his friends, my parents, my brother and his friends, and my friends, like 4 different groups. So I wasn't like, I forgot to stop my Strava. It was a mess. I really wanted to when I was romanticizing it in my head, I was like, I'm probably going to be laying in the grass by myself, crying to Matt, telling him how much it meant to me and talking about my mental health. But didn't do that. Did have a chance to hug him. I think I got a pic of that and talk a little bit. But he passed me. Last couple miles were the hardest. We ran up a bridge, the Hohen Bridge in Milwaukee, and it was so fucking windy. So it's like going uphill with wind just coming at you. Sucked ass. That was by far from 24 to 25 mile was the worst. But I did have my kick. I always finish strong. And in the least area, I was passing motherfuckers the last 2 miles. I was like, it's just finish line. Like, I know once I get to the end of the bridge, it's the finish line somewhere nearby. It was actually quite a bit of a loop still. And I wish I would have kicked sooner because I actually looked at the results of the race. My friend Matt only beat me by like a minute. I'll post that pic. A minute or so. So I'm kind of pissed. I almost would have caught up to him. And I probably could have started my little kick. Maybe I don't want to act like I had so much energy left because I was fucking dead. But I think once I'm mentally like, that's the finish point, I can lock in until I cross it. I think I could have started it like at least half a mile, maybe a full mile sooner. But yeah, it was super dope. So it was cool then too because he just finished before me. So he saw they do say your name. They do have like a nice constructed finish line for you. A little time thing. I'll cut to that clip. I have one of me like jumping and hitting it.
That's Lex Stenger all the way from Seattle, Washington. Nice bounce back, Logan Milwaukee.
And I was zooming through that. Like, where the fuck's this finish line? I want to be done. So my time there was 4:36, like 36. First goal was under 5 hours just before football. Then my brother's friend got like 4:45 or 4:50, and he annoyed me one day, so I wanted to beat him. And then Matt was telling me you should go for 4.5. And I'm like, that's a bit optimistic. So deep down, I am still mad and bitter because I was only 6 minutes off, and I think I could have done that. If I had 2 stops for pisses. I walked during some of my water breaks. I only took 3 goos. I feel I could have gotten there. But I didn't. But what I will say, my Strava, which is probably most accurate because I hit that right before I actually crossed the start line, because like I said, you wait 5-10 minutes before you actually cross it, depending on how early you are there in line. My Strava, I forgot to even click stop at the end, but my Strava, what I will say, I'll cut to the picture. It says like marathon personal best, it's under 4.5 hours. And that probably just looks at the fastest 26.2 miles in that thing that I tracked, because I had it for like 26.7 or something, because I walked a bit afterwards and forgot about it, plus the little walk before crossing or as I walked past the start line. So I will say, according to my Strava, I got the 4.5. I'm going to take that. I don't care if it's a cop-out. Taking it. But yeah, in conclusion, there's so much more I could say, but like, I had like 3 goos, half a PBJ during it, and a lot of water and Gatorade. Pissed twice. I'm mad I didn't catch back up with Matt. They would have been electric to just pass him at the very end or something. When you go through that final lane, they do actually say your name out loud, which is super cool. I don't know how the fuck they do that, but it's super dope they do that. And I would definitely, I don't know if I'll ever run another one, but I'll recommend it. I think for me, like, this whole thing was just like fortifying. Like, my mental health is still really bad. I still question my worth. Like, deep down, I knew I was going to get it done no matter what, because to me, like, this was about proving I deserve to be here. Like, a lot of times I think about just how much, like, my mom, dad, brother, sister have invested in me and how privileged I am. Never had to worry about food or money or a roof over my head or where to live. And, you know, deep down the last couple months and weeks, I've been like, I've come, not just thought, but come to the conclusion that it would be better if I'm not here and my friends and family, all of them, invested their time, effort, attention elsewhere. But I think doing this big accomplishment, something that I mainly did, don't get me wrong, like, I couldn't have done it without Matt, and there's a lot of people, but like, majority of my training outside of 2 runs were all by myself. It was just me, like, putting on myself. It was just like the first time I feel like I really kind of proved myself to myself in terms of like, I don't love myself. I don't take care of myself, like, a lot of times in terms of like, you know, just when you love someone like a significant other, you're like, did you eat enough? Did you shower? Did you brush your teeth? You have a headache? Did you drink enough water? I don't do that for myself sometimes. So I think for me, it was honestly just a really big prove that I can like take care of myself and prove that I deserve to be here. And I think feeling all the love from my family and friends showing up, it's like something I'll never forget. Like, I do think for that reason, it's worth it alone to do it. Yeah, it was a great experience. I'll get emotional if I talk about it too much, but I recommend it. I'm still super fucking sore. It's been 24. What time is it? It's been like 35 hours since I roughly finished, and I'm still so sore. Got a lot of food afterwards, icing, all of that, but I'm really proud of myself for doing it, and I think that covers most of what I wanted to cover. I feel like there's so much more I could even say to talk about it. This is the most interesting thing I've done in a long time. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm proud of myself for doing it. Shout out the Lakefront Marathon. You get a little medal afterwards, which is cool. My brother, sister, mom, they made me signs. I'll post pics of those. I didn't even see any of them during the race because it was at the finish line and I was just busting ass. But they were pretty funny and cute. They give you a food and drink coupon. The food coupon's just for a fucking banana or a chocolate milk. Fucking rip off. The drink, you can get a beer. But you spend $150 for fucking what? Yeah, I think that covers it. I was pretty proud. I had some people like text me during the race that I haven't even heard from in a long time. I'm not that tight with, like, good luck today. It was one person in mind. Shout out Bryce. And after, like, people checking on me, like, it was definitely something that gave me a lot more of a will to live, and just feel more important than I am right now. So right now we're still on a little bit of a high. We just bought a Ben & Jerry's because I haven't had Ben & Jerry's in months. And I haven't had sweets in probably like a week leading up to this. So We're going to inhale that, eat probably like shit for the next 24 more hours, then I'll get back to my bananas. But I think that covers it. It was great. If anyone watches this and you have comments, comment them. I recommend it. I'm going on a podcast with my buddy Matt, Settle in 7. It's a great podcast. You should listen to it regardless. But that's my first marathon experience. Shout out Milwaukee Lakefront. I think that covers everything. This is a long-ass video, so I'm ending it.